So guys, right, let's have a look at this downswing and how to move into impact effectively. There's a lot of information out there, but we really need to look at some facts here, right? We're going to look at the PGA averages and a couple of really great clips here, some really interesting drills to get you guys on the right track. So guys, right, looking at how we can move into impact, getting our right leg, our right hip, getting our hips to work more effectively. Now, what are we actually seeing with a lot of people out there? And this even, when we're really looking at advanced players who are flipping and blocking it, this is a really sensitive area, and it's just great to be able to understand where it comes from. Okay, so let's have a look. When we're looking at a lot of players moving into impact, we're seeing them move with the right knee forwards. We're seeing often the weight move quickly into the right toe, which gets the right hip to turn high. Your torso is going to move with it. Now, good players will still counter-react, but by getting this right hip up high, you get a little bit stuck, and a lot of the time it'll just open up the face. It doesn't mean you have to necessarily get the club behind you, but you will get blocked. You either run into yourself here and you're hitting it right going right, or you'll counter-react and a left going left. And for the less skilled players, when this is coming out, your torso's coming over and you're hitting it from the outside. So by getting your right hip to move underneath you and keeping it in is going to get nearly everybody in a position where your foot will roll in on the side, and we can have great footwork. Mickey Wright, you're looking at Jack Nicklaus and Ben Hogan, Adam Scott. We're looking at so many great players with this right leg in a wonderful position rather than early extending, lifting up, getting that big gap between the ball. You know that feeling on the golf course when that comes out and this is gone and there's just nothing to hit against. So this move here, this is really the killer move and one of the essential moves in the golf swing. When we have a look at Colin Morikawa, and we might have Justin Thomas, and we have some players that really, move this right leg out, they get away with it because one thing is their knees moving a long way forwards, all right? The other thing that people don't talk about is the steepness of their shoulders. They're so flexible and they're so coordinated, they're so talented, they can get their side bend into crazy positions and move this stuff underneath them, move their legs to keep them in the shot. Most people are ripped off the shot, left going left, and of course, right going right. So guys, right, have a look at Nicklaus' 18 major championships. Have a look at the footwork on that. And what you can see is what it does with the left hip here. It's lifting this left hip right up 14 degrees. But what an amazing angle, that right foot. What a ball striker. Colin Morikawa doing it differently. He's got the right leg flying out, which seems to be towards the golf ball. Interesting when I'll show you just quickly what he's doing to sort of counter-react that from the other side. But he's able to still keep that left hip up, not as high, but he's still able to keep it up. But one of the things some of these modern day players can do with the incredible flexibility that they have is really get their shoulders in really steep. So it's just outside where the ball was, and that can keep them in the shot as their legs are extremely active and moving underneath them. But one of the things that's really interesting is the movement of how far forwards Morikawa brings the right leg towards the left, really closing up this gap. Have a look at this amount. So even though his leg's flying out, it's moving forwards, and it's really closing up that gap. Huge lateral shift, 4 to 6 inches on average, without the head moving too far forwards. And really what we do with this V1 Pro system is we get in there and measure these positions. I'll show you a couple of things coming up later in the video. It's really interesting. But look at that. Remember that number I said, 55 degrees. What an incredible impact position, right, guys? Let's get further on into the video. So, by moving our legs more effectively, getting this right leg to stay underneath us, the hips move much differently. So what will happen is when you get into impact, your left hip, and it's good to know the numbers, right? It's good to know the averages, because if you're not in them, it makes sense. That left hip's going to be about 10 to 15 degrees higher, or 10 to 17 degrees higher than the right. Now when that right leg moves out, you're getting more of a level hip turn. And I see so many good players in this position, and it's really causing them issues. Now, a couple of things you can do to create feels and sensations. You can pick up your driver or a broomstick, pop it behind you, and just move yourself in a fashion where you're moving this stick about 1 meter outside the ball. And this will give you the feeling on both sides of what your hips are doing. Your left knee staying in and your right knee staying in. You can actually move and roll your feet a little bit inwards and inwards on both sides. And this is bringing your right leg into such a great position. And then of course you're creating a sensation and you're getting there and you're hitting a shot. And you're trying to get this right leg, this right thigh to move closer to your left. Anything moving this way is going to pull you off the shot. And even if you can just see it in video, it's enough for a good player to hit it out of bounds. All right? And it's enough for the club golfer to come a long way out on the outside, fat shots, thing, all sorts of sockets or whatever you name it, you've got it from there. So guys, looking at your footwork, you're getting this foot to roll in on the side. It's a great thing to look at. People are not looking at it enough. Your right knee, I'm going to have a look at some angles coming up where this right leg is. You get a little bit technical without getting mechanical, but you need to know some of the averages. Now, this is a good drill for club players because when they swing, they actually move their foot back in the other direction, causing the hip to move up. And if you can get this right foot, this ankle to move in on the side, your left hip's going to be moving up, your right leg's going to be staying back, you're keeping your heel on the ground, and then you're moving up into a finish position, perhaps, you know, with a little bit of an arching of the back without your head flying too far backwards. Let's have a look if we can hit one here and just see if we can move away from this before we have a peek at some really interesting angles and clips there of top players. Let's have a look here as we move away from this basket on the ground. I can really feel that that right foot rolls in on the side. By getting this knee to the finish line, by getting this right leg to move underneath us, we start to get in some fantastic places for really to improve your shaft lean, ball striking. And so let's have a look now at some great clips of some great players, some of the best of all time, past and present, to give you a better understanding of where you need to be in your golf swing.
So guys, how good is DeChambeau's footwork? Have a look at this. People, this incredible angle here. Look at that left hip up, that right leg, that right foot rolling in. It's extraordinary, actually, looking how good that is. I mean, through the golf ball towards the end, it gets people a fool because of this, but just some of the best footwork in world golf, and what a ball striker. Mickey Wright, who Ben Hogan said, have a look at this, guys. Ben Hogan said the best ball striker that he ever saw. Have a look at the leg work. Look at the closing up of that right leg moving in towards the left, that ankle bone moving in. And actually, when you have a look at this, when you play it sort of back, you get that rolling of the ankles. Why aren't we looking at this? There's a lot of junk out there, isn't there? Looking at this separation move when the arm is parallel to the ground. A lot of the stuff we've been looking at recently, it's on World Class Golf, getting your geometry right, working with numbers, working with facts here. You know, when we have a look at Nick Faldo here, what a such a look at that left foot, so solid. That right leg, just a ball striking, you know, just a repeating machine. As we look at, you know, the averages of movement when we're looking at this is what we're showing you on World Class Golf Instruction. Dr. Robert Neal, who's you know, analysed 550 PGA Tour pros. So we've got all the numbers. Look at the left hip here of Lee Trevino. Look how high that is up. Landing back on the original shaft plane, one of the best ball strikers of all time. So guys, you know, when you're looking at the facts of the swing and measuring it, it makes sense. It makes sense to get in there and say, okay, well, where's my right leg? When all the pros out there are under 70 degrees, where's mine? Or I'm at 81. Where's 70? Where's 65 or 60? God, I've got to get over here. You know, getting your right knee to work underneath you, getting the basics right, you know, chipping away at your golf, guys. Online lessons, Craig Hanson, you know, golf, you can have a look at that, worldclassgolf.com. You know, really, you see these right legs, they're coming half an hour. Look at that. They're bringing the knee through when they're sitting in the clubhouse with the beer. It's a bit too late.
World Class Golf Instruction has over 700 detailed videos for every golfer. Practice programs and evidence-based material is applied in helping you to become your own coach and play your best golf. Join us in the chat room and join the community of World Class Golf Instruction.
So guys, you know, getting your hands on the right information and chipping away at your golf, it makes sense rather than jumping from video to video. If you're after online lessons, worldclassgolf.com. Jump on there, and if you want me to coach you, you can get plenty of lessons, and we've got 1,200 videos, separate series, training, practice programs, and join the community there. Guys, hope you enjoyed the video. We've got to make sure we're getting golfers to work on the right things and not just jumping all over the place. Let's get on the path to play better golf. As I said, if you're new to the channel, don't forget to subscribe. If you like the video, and that'll help me out. Thanks for watching, guys. See you next time.